You've been lied to, not by your parents or the society or your friends, but by your own brain. In fact, it might be the case that the very thing that you were chasing all along is also the same thing that keeps you exhausted, unfulfilled, and unhappy. And if you understand this and what I have to say to you today, you might discover that everything you think that you wanted and that you're chasing isn't the thing that you were after at all. You could spend the next 20 years achieving and getting everything you want just to discover that those things were never what you really wanted. So let me tell you a little story about a CEO that I'm working with. He came to me, had a problem, and asked for help. And at first he told me about his life and how he worked and got a degree and began to work as a CEO and was very successful. So he began to earn money, put it up goals for himself, and it was 100K, a million, so on and so forth to the company, but also his private finances. Besides that, he had a great family and he had a great house, several houses. Yeah, he had a great life, but he was struggling. So he came to me and asked me for help because he was struggling. Not the businesses, not his life, not everything you see on a paper or by your own eyes. He told me something that I never will forget, and that was that he just waked up every morning and just felt like he was behind. So he was never satisfied. It was always more things to do, more things to come, more people to hire, more meetings, and more of everything. And he just felt trapped in what I call the performance trap. So he felt like it needs to be something wrong with me to have it all and still be as unhappy that he have never been. So that is what I call the peak performance paradox. Happens to a lot of successful people. So I asked him a fundamental, really important question. So I asked him, when was the last time you felt satisfied? And he thought for a bit and got quiet for quite some time. And he just told me that I can't remember, actually. So this is a typical thing where the nervous system just feels like he wasn't chasing success anymore. So the success was chasing him. So it was always more to come, more deals, more revenue, and more of everything. And it was a train that is not stopping, and it was eating him alive. So the business was pushing him rather than he didn't get his freedom from the business that he'd really like to have. So he can spend more time with things that he loves to do, which in his case was his boat, his family, and to take care of himself. And those things were not on the agenda from the business perspective. So he chased the next number, the next achievement, the next data point on a sheet, just to present to the board how good he was or how good the company were doing, and so on and so forth. And you might think that you have never built a company or stood on a podium, but you have for sure experienced the feeling of wanting more likes on social media, more attention, more money on the bank, a bigger house, or to have a new car, or what it might be. And more so in this age. Project finished, or everything you can, see as an achievement. But you might never have thought about the case that everything you achieve something, the brain moves the finish line quietly right after you have accomplished that. That is the performance trap. you might then think that achievement is a bad thing. But that is actually not the case. You see, achievement was never created for success and to create success. Achievement in itself is actually the foundation of movement, to be on your way to something or to be a part of and to feel that. That is what the brain's achievement is actually grounded for. But we have mixed that with the next data point or a new car or what have you. So, which means that the brain automatically is moving the finish line right after you get it, because achievement was never designed for success. It was designed for movement. So peak performers often struggles within this loop, and many of my clients is struggling and have been for years pursuing things. So they want to achieve new things, so they put up goals, they achieve the goals, and they feel a relief, and the body and the brain adapts, and it just put it up a new goal or moving the finish line to the next and the next and the next. And this dopamine loop is actually destroying your performance more than you think, and you need to be able to regulate that in order for you to perform well. That is what we call the performance trap. It's very common to think that dopamine is the chemical of happiness and something you actually like, so to speak. But the release of dopamine is actually happening way before that. So it is the drive and the pursuit of the thing that you think you want. And that's why when you get it, it's very hard to sustain there. And that is also why motivation and drive and purpose and all of that is very, very connected to the pursuit of things that is meaningful. And the brain often rewards the pursuit and the anticipation more than the actual achievement. You kind of realize that the pursuit is more valuable than the possession itself. So it's more about the chase and not the catch. And it's more about to be on your way to things more than the possession of it itself. And it's also about the possibility more than the reality. That's why it's not as fun to watch a soccer game when you know the score and you know what's going on there in beforehand. So it's an unknown of what's next. And it's the same thing in games, and it's the same thing in businesses and in relationships and in all of your life, because dopamine doesn't really care about the domains. It just cares about being on your way, pursuing things that you think that you like. A short burst of success somewhere will have also it to diminish very, very quickly, because the pursuit is there and want you more and more and more. That is also why it's called the chemical of more. It does make sense, because biologically it was that the human race needed dopamine as a motivation to pursue things like searching for food, gathering stuff, hunting, and of that sort. So if dopamine and motivation wasn't a thing after one success, humanity wouldn't have made it very far, and you wouldn't be sitting here today. Let me leave you with one final thought for you, just to let it sink in. A lot of people, and you probably noticed this as well, is living in a world of arrival. They want to arrive to success, and they want to arrive to fulfillment. They want to arrive to peace. They want to arrive to freedom, just like we're talking about a destination from one country to another. They asking the achievement to take them like a destination in the future, right? So they want to arrive to things. So another goal, another podium. I'm working with elite performers that want to perform sustainable. So obviously it's a very common theme that it's always one more all the time. 1 more million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. One more car, another house, one more thing, one more that. And the story goes on and on and on and on. What if the thing that you were searching for and you were searching for isn't really in the achievement itself, but more so in the way you pursuing things? You might be just waiting for, the life to begin. If I just get that, my life can have peace, or I can have success, and I can finally have a relief, right? What if I told you that that is actually the trap itself? What about the fact that the brain is actually designed of pursuing things rather than achieve things, which is a huge difference, right? And what if the achievement and the fulfillment is the pursuing itself? Because that is exactly how the brain works. To be fulfilled and to arrive to fulfillment never waits for you at the finish line. What if the brain actually just pushing the fulfillment line further and further away the more things you achieve? So what about that? And think about that for a second. So because winning can create moments, but it cannot create worth. Winning cannot create freedom. Winning cannot create purpose. And it can for sure not create meaning. So here's what I learned from working with a ton of elite achievers in over 20 years. Healthy performers still want to win as bad as you want. They still want mastery, they still want excellence, they still want to pursue goals. But the difference is that they do not expect achieving to tell them who they are and what's their identity. That's the main difference here. So they already decided that. They have decided their values, their beliefs, their meaning of things, and why they are pursuing things, for what reason. And that is a game changer in the peak performance world. So they can contribute and perform from a wholeness perspective, from their biology and their nervous system, rather than from insecurity. They want to perform from contribution instead of validation. They want to perform from purpose instead of insecurity. And they want to perform from their identity rather than from outcome or external results. And those things change everything, because when you stop pursuing achievement as a value of your worth, you will be free to pursue and to master everything you want from your identity and your values and the beliefs. And that is a game changer in the peak performance world. So when that happens, you can be calm, you can get better sleep, and you will become free to pursue your greatness. And you will stop pursuing and to achieve things because you're afraid, and start pursuing things because you're inspired. You will not perform anymore for applause, from a tap on the back, but more from purpose and passion. So what happens if you're able to perform from a state of who you are, who you really are, from inside and out? So the irony of all that is that people and high performers and high achievers becomes to be more successful when they don't act from where success is their identity. And that is what sustainable peak performance is all about. So you can live a long life and to perform, to be happy and to not do it by fear. Because now they can fail, they can handle the fear, they can take risks, they can do mistakes, they can learn, and they can adapt very quickly and be flexible and have a cognitive bandwidth that is taking them to excellence and mastery way faster than they did before. So without self-worth being on the line, they can be resilient and they can have a very, very good ability to handle high pressure situations and to make decisions in all circumstances. They can be calmer, and we talk a lot about calm pressure, and to be able to act from within will also mean to have more affinity. When you're meeting people, you can drive better relations, better custom acquisitions, and on and on and on. Those kind of peak performers that is doing that, they will become more dangerous than everyone else. So when you don't feel winning as being enough, and you can perform from a state where winning is not tied to your self-worth, that is where you become really, really dangerous. You will succeed way more often because that is sustainable, and that will also drive your recovery. Because what happens when you no longer need winning to feel enough might be the highest quality of peak performance there is out there. So the problem here is asking achievement to do a job it was never designed to do. I have a question for you. Have you ever achieved anything that you thought would change everything? Have you ever felt empty after you reached a goal? Or you might have wondered why motivation seems to disappear very, very quickly after you have achieved anything. So imagine a future where you wake up energized and you want to work because you love working. You feel that you're winning and you're also succeeding with your goals without the need of winning. What is that worth? So you will also be able to recover and to rest without feeling guilt, and you can lead people around you with calmness and with no fear. And also, when you achieve without the emptiness, you will also see that you can regulate and have a very stable peak performance over time that is also just scaling and rising up through the roof. So achievement without emptiness is an awesome feeling, that you're not depending on those kind of insecurity and those things that is very, very unstable mechanism. So if this video resonates really, really good with you, and you also feel like you do not struggle with motivation per se, but you're struggling with the achievement and in how you are operating with the achievements instead of the pursuing, and you're struggling with the nervous system, have problem to regulate and to link and relate how you see achievement in the way you're operating. So then I have good news for you, because I've created a dopamine score all free for you to go through, and it will reveal how you're operating with the dopamine system and if it's sustainable or not. And you will get right there on fact, on point, what you need to be doing and the solution to your problem, so you can be working in the right way with sustainable peak performance and to have a great and better relationships with achievement itself. And that will also help you detect if you experience dopamine overload, validation dependency, identity conflict, stress, or recovery problems. And the most important thing of all things is that you will know what actually is sabotaging your performance and what keeps you away from feeling that sustainable peak performance is something you really, really want to have and deserve to have and earn to have, to help you overcoming that, so you can be performing from a sustainable, biological, healthy system and thrive from that. So you can be successful in your business, in sports, in relationships. You will also have more time and freedom for the people you love, from the things you care about, from the activities you want to do. More time and freedom to do whatever you want for you. Don't forget to click on the next video. I'm talking about motivation and how you can create your own motivation in order for you to be more successful, so you can achieve your goals and your dreams.